Do you remember that time when we were driving back from Falcon, from the lake day?
Yeah.
And you were talking with Ashton and me and Kelsey and talking about how you wanted to, or you were going out for coffee with people for like 30 minutes and just asking them, like, people that you are inspired by, people that you look up to.
Yeah.
And just going out and asking them a bunch of questions. I was really like inspired by that.
Were you? Okay.
Yeah. So I created a list of people that I want to go out with, and you were on that list. And then I thought, okay, these conversations are so good. What if I just record them?
Yeah.
Because there's definitely nuggets of wisdom that I get, and I'm sure other people would get if they also listened to these conversations.
Yeah.
And so, the goal is to grow and to have a lot of different people with different stories, different backgrounds on who can share their life story.
Well, and it's so good because what motivated me was, like, we have a certain amount of lifespan, right? And if I can learn from somebody who's already done 60 years and I can get nuggets from there that I can already apply to my life, well, earlier, and then I don't have to wait till I'm 60.
Right.
It's so valuable. And it's the same thing as books, right? You read books, you learn, you apply things to your life. But I love the personal contact.
Yeah.
Because there's trust there, you know, with these guys that I know from church or from business. You connect with them, you trust them, you can see their life, that they've lived it well, and you're like, hey, that I want.
Yeah. I mean, with someone that you know, then there's already, like, I guess with a book, you can read a book and think, oh, that guy's just special, or he's like, he's unique to have that situation land up in front of him. But if you actually know the guy and you know, hey, this is who he is, and the hard work that he's put in, there's a lot more relatability to that.
Totally, yeah. And these people live around here, right? Like when they live in California or Texas or wherever these places are, you're like, oh, that's so out there, right? But these guys grew up same hometown I did. Yeah. And you see what they're doing, you see what they've learned. Yeah. And it's super relatable. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about, like, high school job, like, kind of your overall career path that, like, cause you worked for your dad growing up, right?
Yeah.
So how is that experience working for, because that was landscaping as well for
that was landscaping and rentals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. I'll give you the story. I might like breeze through it. Feel free to jump in and but, so high school, actually I started working for my dad probably, grade 7. I would go start screwing down decks for him, stuff like that. And, cause it was a family business, so you grow up doing it. It helps out dad, but it's also a nice opportunity for me to make some money in summer.
Right.
And I worked for him. High school, I actually served at Red Rock Bible Camp for 3 summers, which my dad was nice enough to let me go do because he obviously needed the help.
Right. That would have been busy season for you guys.
Crunch time. Yeah. So my dad let me do that, which was amazing. And really good experience. So then after high school, how did this go? After you're trying to figure out life, right? All these big questions. I went and worked electrical in Alberta for, I think, 3 weeks or a month, working with a friend out there just to try something new. Came back, worked for my dad.
Did you have any experience doing electrical? Like, did you take that in high school?
No, zero experience.
Okay.
Except that when I worked for my dad, we did renos in winter, and then we would do some minor electrical. We got to wire up a box or a light, so there's a little bit, but no, I learned so much. We were actually wiring up a truss plant for most of it. So we were running conduit and pulling wires, which was a very unique experience. So So I did that, and I did love it, but I realized my life's here. My friends are here. And so coming home just made a lot of sense. And so that would have been when I was 18.
Okay. Was that before Jody?
That was before Jody. That was like right at the beginning of me and Jody starting to hang out.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was another reason to come.
Right. Okay. So you were talking already and then you left.
Yeah. Like we were like really good friends.
Okay.
And like kind of in the back of your head, you're like, maybe this will turn into something.
Right.
And I don't think we discussed that at all, but we hung out all the time. Yeah. Like as friends. So that was cool. And then, so I came home, worked with my dad again. I actually started taking taking flight training. So I was working on a private pilot's license, and I was going to pursue a career in that because I loved I love that. I love seeing different places. And actually what I think I was drawn to was the adventure of it.
Okay.
And not so much like being a commercial airline pilot, but like flying for fishing lodges, stuff like that.
Okay.
Where you're flying a float plane, or there's some lodges that have runways,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So that was the draw. So I started doing my private pilot's license.
Yeah.
And partway through, I got engaged.
Okay.
Which like now all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, like I gotta like look at buying a house or rent.
Yeah.
And supporting a
Jody thought she was marrying this like pilot guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So and then at that same time, I think at that time it was very hard to get a job flying.
Okay.
And I had a kind of a career path with my dad, and I was getting married, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to fly around up north for who knows how long trying to build hours till I get a job that I want.
Right.
So I just quit, and I didn't do I was flying solo already, but I hadn't done my flight test or my written test. And I just chalked it up to a good experience, and there goes 10 grand or whatever
Okay.
it was.
Fair enough.
But so then the plan was, and part of the reason we were going to get married and stuff is like I had a career work for my dad. I was just going to keep doing that.
Okay.
Jody was doing hairdressing.
Okay.
And so I worked for my dad for, when was that? So that would have been probably about 9 years full time.
Okay. What was that relationship like working for your dad? Because like I grew up like not working for my dad, but he would always like teach me music and stuff, and he would like drill me on practicing piano, and that I just caused so much tension between my relationship with him.
Yeah.
I can't believe like having him as an employer when now he's paying you.
Yeah.
You have a bad day like at work, and then like I guess if you're still living with him, going home, having to deal with that.
And we're working together like 10-hour days in summer.
Right.
So there was tension for sure. And that's like, that's not on him. That's on me. Like as a young guy, you're trying to like stretch your wings.
Yeah.
And it's your dad always telling you what to do.
Yeah.
So I probably was not an easy guy to work with. And the other side of that is, so there's a lot of character growth I had to do.
Okay.
The other side of it is our personalities are very different actually, which like, even if it's not your dad, it can create some tension. So that was that. And you know what, as a parent now, of a 13-year-old, man, like I'm learning so much, like, and my dad would have been learning how to parent, like how do you parent an 18-year-old that now works for you?
Yeah.
So it was very interesting dynamic. So, but no, it was, I think looking back, it was really good, but yeah, there was definitely tension there. And, I needed a lot of character development because I would obviously do that very differently now. You know, you learn how to have conversations instead of like just get frustrated with your dad. Now there'd be a conversation that's had and you kind of sit down and chat about it.
Right.
So yeah, I've grown a lot. I think he's grown a lot too. So
okay.
Yeah. But so then I worked with him for 8 years. And at that time, this would have been when I was maybe 25. Okay, so then our church had SOM, School of Ministers.
Right.
And it had been running for a few years already. And every time they announced it, I was like, man, that's something I think I want to do. I never went to Bible school after high school. And I was having kids, and I was like, man, I want to work on my relationship with God, my theology, because it's going to have a huge trickle down effect on my kids. But more than that, like if I can learn this stuff in my mid-20s, I've got years yet that will influence my life, my kids' life, my grandkids, the people I'm with. So an investment into that early, I think, pays big dividends.
Yeah.
And
did you have a big spiritual influence growing up? Like, was your family like solid in their faith?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I, what is that? There's a comedian. He's like, those kids that grew up in the 90s, like they grew up like super Christian. My parents are very conservative. I felt, and I think when I look around at my other friends, they were like, and which was good, is really good because it's very easy to, they were living by their convictions.
Right.
Right. And I think that's important. even in our own life, and not to necessarily move on your convictions just because you're standing out or whatever. Right. So, definitely Christian upbringing. They always pushed me to go to Bible school, but I never did. I just wasn't in the cards. I didn't have an interest and wanted to work. But yeah, then SOM popped up and I'm like, this would be good. And it was 2 days a week, right? So it's very doable. So my dad was nice enough to give me 2 days a week off. I think it was Wednesdays and Fridays or something. So I did that. And then I thought that was going to be it. I took a year off and then they were coming out with, they called it year 3.
Okay.
Which was like almost like a full-time ministry type track.
Yeah.
If
like
you thought
pastoral.
Yeah, I think
training.
they called it pastoral track at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, interesting. But I don't know if that's for me. And but at a very similar time in my devotions, then the Lord had been speaking to me for like, oh man, time is funny. Like 6 months, maybe, I don't know if a year.
Yeah.
But on and off, right? Like you'll be doing devotions and then you'll get this idea about full-time ministry. And I'm like, nah.
Okay.
I have my career. And
that's a big jump too, like even just security and
and like pay, I think was like, I wasn't making a ton of work for my dad yet at that time. So pay was not a big thing. And I also feel like ministry, if you're called to ministry, like you have to be able to do anything. Like there shouldn't be anything you're holding back. So even if I would have gotten a huge pay cut, I'm kind of like, if that's what the Lord wants, then like we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
And but I kept pushing it off because that's not really what I wanted to do, and I wanted it to be clear that that's what I was supposed to do if it's what the Lord wanted. And so finally, I'm kind of like keep having this recurring thought every like few weeks. And Pastor A talks about a recurring thought can sometimes be from the Lord.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him talking about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then I was like, well, Lord, if this is you, then you have to also be talking to Jody about it, because like ministry is both of us. Like we both have to be bought in. And in my mind, like I'm willing to move. I'm willing to like go to Africa if that's what it ends up being, because I didn't want to hold something back. And my wife's a big part of that if we're moving. So I'm like, Jody has to be all in. And so I kind of journaled that and prayed it in the morning. And that same night, Jody comes up to me and is like, hey, have you ever thought about doing full-time ministry?
No way.
And we'd never talked about it. Like,
yeah.
So that was a huge confirmation for me. And so then anyway, so that kickstarted me into like, hey, we should maybe just take this pastoral track.
Yeah.
That'll be a good first step. We sold our house. We sold our rental house. We started renting. Just in case we're supposed to move afterwards. Cause there was a bit of chatter that we might get sent to a different church or a church rental church or something like that.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, well.
So you are living in this house and you have a rental house.
Yeah.
And so you sell all of it.
Yeah.
And start renting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was crazy. It's crazy. But the Lord had already been kind of working on me too to sell before that. Yeah. So I think is like all kind of comes together when you look back. But yeah, we had just bought this like log house on 5 acres, totally renoed it. And so we sold it. We were renting. We're like, hey, at the end of this school, if we're supposed to move, like we're ready. No delays, no looking back.
Wow.
And we ended up getting hired at church as the camp properties coordinator, which was fantastic.
Okay.
It kind of fit into my wheelhouse already, doing renovations and landscaping and trades. And so managing the camp facility and working with volunteers, like kind of just fit right in my wheelhouse.
Right.
Not to mention like I had so much character work to do. Like, so I went through school, sure, that's fine. But the real world is so different. And God really worked on my character in those, I think I was there 4 years or 5 years. And so that was good. There was no way I should have been sent to another church to like help pastor. Like I would not have been ready. So yeah, I did that. Ended up taking on a few other roles at church. We did distribution centers. So we gave away food, clothing, furniture.
Yeah.
We had an auto ministry, so we gave away cars to people that needed them.
Yeah.
And what else? Yeah, and then actually yeah, so I did that, which was great. Like I loved working with volunteers, and it taught me so much now looking back about how to be an employer. Because a volunteer, you don't have any leverage on except that they want to be there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're not paying them. They don't need like. They don't need
you just have to sell them on the vision, and hopefully be a good enough leader that they want to volunteer for you.
Yeah.
I guess now being an employer, you have the money.
Yeah. So we pay our guys, obviously, but work is so much more than just pay. Like you have to create a good environment. Yeah. The guys want to feel appreciated. They want to do meaningful work. You mentioned the vision piece. So I think that all just helped me become a better employer now than I would have been otherwise. Mm-hmm. So yeah, then COVID happened, the big shakeup. In 2020. And so there was a couple weeks there where it was like 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Do you remember?
Yes. Yeah. Everyone stay indoors.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. Flatten the curve. 2 weeks. We're back at it. Yeah. And so I think that those 2 weeks, like work like evaporated. My workload evaporated. And so I had nothing to do, sitting around. I don't sit around well.
Yeah.
And then it was also looking like, man, this is not going to be 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I knew the church was going to do layoffs. And that's a tough thing to lay people off.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could feel it from my leaders.
There's a lot of heaviness.
A lot of heaviness going on.
Yeah.
So I talked to my superior, Marlene Lepke.
Okay.
And I was like, Marlene, if you got to lay me off, like, so somebody else can stay, that's fine. Like, I'll be just fine. We'll figure this out.
Were you already thinking of like ideas, dreams at this point?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah.
Have you always had ideas and dreams throughout this process of like your own thing?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I felt very clearly that the Lord called me to ministry.
Yeah.
But once I got in, I did not fit. Like,
Okay.
I remember feeling like a square peg in a round hole. Like, I do not fit in this organization. Not that it was the organization's fault, but coming from the trades to now ministry and office work.
Sitting in a cubicle.
Yeah. And people communicate differently in an office, I found, than trades. Trades are very blunt, I find. Mm-hmm. Not mean, but like time's money. We're going to communicate clearly.
Yeah.
Expectations. If it's bad, like, dude, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Redo it. No. And you don't like mince words, right? Like, obviously you do it, not trying to be a jerk, but so that way of communicating, which I thought was normal, was not normal in the office setting. Yeah. I found. And so yeah, I just felt like, man, like I'm having these conversations, they're not going well. And I don't fit. Like, this is such a huge change. And so I wanted to quit, like almost from day one.
Okay.
I wanted to quit.
So you have all this buildup of, you feel like God's calling you to ministry.
Yeah.
And then you finally arrive, and then like first week or
like,
whatever it is, it's like, what am I doing? Like how are those emotions? Like, that must have been kind of sad.
Oh man, emotions. Yeah. It was just like, I just was like, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. And so, yeah, literally I would say almost from day one, I wanted to quit.
Okay.
But I couldn't because I would go back and like, God clearly called me to this. And so quitting would have been disobedience.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't feel right. Even though I got there, I'm like, no, get me out of here. And so it would have been disobedience. So I made a promise to myself, and I guess to the Lord too, that I wasn't quitting unless God released me clearly. Like, if God called me, then God has to release me. It's not like I get my options in between.
Yeah.
And
that's good.
So just I was going to just do my best and learn, not be half-hearted. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, it was okay. I don't remember exactly how long I worked there, but let's just say it was 4 years of me wanting to quit. Okay. Almost every day.
Wow.
And then right at the end, like literally weeks before COVID hit, they were going to shift my role to I was going to oversee like the outreach arm of the church. So that would include the things I was overseeing. But
like
it also
auto ministry, distribution center, like all that stuff.
Yeah. And then I was going to oversee food and clothing drive. I was going to oversee, did we call it the Freedom House?
Yes.
Is it the Freedom House? Right. So it was like the Freedom House was ideally, it was like somebody who went through Teen Challenge and graduated from there. And now they're like coming back into like, well, let's call it real life, right? Where you get a lot more freedom all of a sudden. Society. Yeah. This would have been like a good next step, right? Where you have freedom, but there's still a lot of structure to help like continue those good habits.
Yeah.
And so I was going to oversee that. And then I was going to take over the men's ministry.
Okay. From, I think, was that Joel?
Joel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did such a fantastic job. Like those would have been big shoes to fill.
Right.
So yeah, then I was gonna take over. So I was like pumped. Like that, I came home from work that day after we had the meeting with Marlene and Chris.
Yeah.
And Jody said, like, this is the first time you're excited about work in like 4 years.
Wow.
And then COVID hit.
Man, that's disappointing. That's like emotional whiplash.
Yeah, it was crazy. But my heart was like now excited to work. And so when I got laid off and when I asked and when I told Marlene, like, hey, if you need to lay me off, like, I'll be fine. I knew my heart wasn't trying to get out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so for 4 years, I was like, I wanted to make sure I wasn't looking for opportunities to get out.
Yeah.
And then I got to a place where I was like pumped about work.
Yeah.
And my heart changed and then I got laid off. So it was like very, very interesting there.
It's almost like you needed to get to the point where you were okay with going to work. Like you were excited for it and you were looking forward to it for then God to like be able to release you.
Yeah.
Now. Yeah. Where before it might have just been escape.
Yeah. Because we can't trust ourselves. Like when we have these strong emotions, you can't really trust yourself completely to make the right decision. Like you're very much slanted in a certain direction, right? So yeah, then I got laid off.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything from that portion of life that I should share.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that kind of sums it up. So then obviously COVID was a huge transition point. So even though I asked to get laid off, I got laid off and I was like overwhelmed.
Okay.
Like,
so you had no idea of like what you're going to do.
Oh, zero.
Okay.
Zero. And actually, this is what I was going to say. So the whole time I was working at church, I had business ideas like constantly. And I would kind of like explore them a little bit and then be like, no, like I can't do that because I'm here. Right. And then before I got laid off, there was a really cool thing that happened at a prayer summit. A friend of mine walks up to me and I didn't talk to people or tell people I was thinking about business, but she came up to me, prayer summit, and she's like, Landon, I feel like the Lord wanted me to tell you something. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I felt like the Lord was saying that he gives you business ideas and he wants you to run with them. And I was like, have you been reading my journal? Yeah. Wow. So that was really cool. And yet it's often timing, right? Like, so I didn't quit that minute.
Right.
But it's like, I filed that away.
Must've been a good feeling.
It was, but like, the thing with the Lord is he could tell you something like that, but his timing is like 10 years down the road.
Right. That's so sneaky,
right. Like
man.
you don't know.
Yeah.
So all I knew yet was he called you to church. You stay until he lets you go. Right. So anyway, so that was that piece. So then when I got laid off, it was March, it was middle of March, I think. And, it was spring, everything was melting outside. And I had, I was like, okay, we had some savings. So hon, we're fine. Like we don't need to like panic and find a job. So we had, the salt sand from the roads all on the front yard, right?
Okay,
when the snow melts, full of sand. I was like, okay, I'm going to sweep this off. And then I'm like, I should rent one of those power sweepers.
Yeah.
Way easier. And then I'm like, I just got laid off. I can't afford like, and so then,
He's trying to pinch every penny.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Landon, don't be lazy. Just sweep it.
Yeah.
And
That's tough though, man. Sweeping that stuff. Like,
oh yeah.
by hand.
By hand. Yeah. But, so then I was like, okay, well, I'll get some neighbors in on it, and then I'll use the power broom to do theirs as well, and then it'll pay for my rental. So this would seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I should just put it on Facebook.
Okay.
And see like how many other people want to get their yards swept. So then I did that. I got a few, which was great. And then I started getting requests for spring cleanups, like dethatching the lawn,
Okay.
stuff like that. I was like, well, I'm not working, so I may as well just say yes.
Yeah.
And so I got a bunch of those. And then I started getting calls for commercial grass cutting.
Okay.
And I was just like going to use my push mower because I didn't have any money.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I looked actually at Three Way Builders, their office to cut their grass with a push mower. And I was like, okay, how long is this going to take me to walk this? So I'm like trying to figure it out for a price.
Yeah.
So I priced it. Ended up that there was another yard care company that was going to start doing something else.
Okay.
So he heard that I'd been laid off through mutual friends, and he had said, oh, like you can have all my contracts.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I just said yes to those. And now I'm like, oh shoot, like I gotta get serious. So then I went out, I took out a loan for 35 grand.
Okay.
And I was like, that is it. That's all I can afford.
Like a business line of credit, or is that
what
different?
was it? No, I think it was, it might've been, I forget now. But yeah, it was 35 grand, and I needed a truck, a trailer, I needed a riding mower, and then a couple of the other, like I need a blower and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
so you're all in at this point, basically.
So now I'm like, now I'm in.
Yeah.
So we did that, and this was so April 1st. So then I'm like, oh shoot, like I need a name. Like my first paper, I saved it. I went and handed it out at businesses because I needed to fill my time.
Yeah.
Fill my my weeks with mowing. And it was like a picture of my family. It was like business name TBD. And
Nice.
So I just went and drove around, like knocked on doors, tried to get work. And then
That's awesome.
oh, it was crazy. I wouldn't have hired me, I don't think, except like a sympathy hire maybe.
Yeah.
And
Have
then
a little bio of why you should.
Yeah.
Like here's my story.
oh, I played on their heartstrings. I was like, I
come
just got
on.
laid off.
Yeah.
Like, got a family.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah. And then it just never slowed down. Like it just kept going. I actually hired Owen. May 19th was my first hire.
Okay. So like April, like a month in.
So a month in. Yeah.
Sweet.
So that month, April till May 19th. Well, I guess, yeah, about a month there. I look back on my step counter because I was doing spring cleanups. I was working by myself from like 7 till 7.
Wow.
I think I'd got, for that month, I averaged about 30,000 steps a day.
Wow.
I think I lost 10 pounds in a month.
Nice.
And like I walked into church and like people are like, what's wrong with you? Like have you lost weight? I'm like, yeah, stress, exercise. And so I'd work like 7 till 7. And then evenings, like from 7 till 10:30, I was responding to emails, booking work. So it was a crazy month.
Yeah. That is, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it was wild, but it was very worth it. And
yeah, for sure. Yeah. What was like, when did the transition happen from like lawn care, spring cleanup stuff to now you're doing like hardscape, landscaping stuff? Like what, like why did you make that transition? When did that happen? Like,
yeah. So we started off cutting grass because it was easy. Like it was not hard work. I could do it by myself, minimal investment. And, so that kept growing. And then we started getting calls for small landscaping jobs. And my dad did landscaping. And actually, this is an important part of the story is when I got laid off, I went and asked my dad to work for him. Because I know people are going to be thinking, well, like you just started another landscaping company when your dad does that. Yeah. And yeah, it did end up that way. I went and asked him for work when I got laid off. And like he didn't have enough work.
Okay.
Right. So he's like, sorry, like I got nothing. So then I started doing like kind of the grass cutting, lawn maintenance side. So it wasn't directly competing with him.
Okay.
And then I would get landscaping calls and I would direct them to him.
Okay. So you didn't really want that, or you didn't?
I didn't.
You weren't at a point where you could.
Yeah, I didn't have the staff. Well, I didn't have a lot of the equipment, and so I'd send it to him, and because I knew he'd do great work, and it was just really natural. And then we weren't competing, right? Because I wanted to be careful of that. And so I'd send it to him, and then he was kind of had too much work and started like turning some of those jobs away. And then I'm like, well, like I need more work. I don't have enough. So then like I'd send it to him. If he didn't have time, then I would do some of it. And then it just kept growing. So then that's kind of how we did. And then I was running essentially 2 crews. I was running a grass cutting crew and a landscaping crew.
Okay.
And is very tough, like with training staff and then staff bouncing back and forth. So it was a bit of an issue there. Plus then I think what really pushed us over the edge to focus just on landscaping was I needed a skid steer.
Okay.
And I also needed a lawnmower at the same time. So I had these big capital purchases.
Okay.
So one of those Walker mowers, I think at the time was it's gonna be like 25 grand for a mower.
Like a zero turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, the brand is called Walker.
Okay. Yeah. I was like a walk
Bush
behind
mower.
mower. I was like, what?
It's made of gold.
Yeah. Okay. That's expensive.
Yeah, it was huge. And like we didn't have the cash for that. And then also a skid steer, which, I mean, you talk to different people. I mean, you can get a cheap skid steer, whatever that means. You can get a new skid steer for like 120,000. So we bought one for about 60. So like a 60,000 skid and a $25,000 mower, and I didn't have the cash for that. So that played into also the staffing issues. So a friend of mine, Jeff Shalla Lawn Care, we talked, and he was kind of in the same boat, except that he was going to focus on lawn care, and I was and give up his landscaping.
Okay, so he was doing landscaping stuff, or just like smaller stuff.
Small stuff, yeah, yeah. So we're like, okay, I'm going to send all my grass stuff your way, yard maintenance. You send your landscaping stuff my way, and that'll solve the problem. And it was a great relationship. I think it worked really well. So that was in 2023, I think, and. Yeah. So
that's so nice to have, like, your dad sending you stuff when he is overloaded, and like Shala sending you stuff.
Yeah.
Like having that community around you to kind of kickstart you and to be there for you, support you whenever you needed it. Like that'd be a huge
And you know what?
component.
That first summer, like this is an important part too that I didn't touch on before. Like, you know, when there's a small business starting up, and we see these businesses start up, right? It is like so nice to have somebody call you and some of my jobs, they'd have been like a $50 job, right? Sweeping the sand or whatever it was.
Right.
And it meant so much to me. Like in their mind, it's like, this is $50, whatever. But like to get those calls like that, it's those kinds of things that kept me going and survive that first year. Yeah. That, and there was so many times. So I had now hired Owen. It was midsummer, and I'd have a week of work left, and then the schedule was just empty.
Okay.
And
you're booking like next week.
Yeah. How soon can we start? Like, I want to get there. And so that's happened a few times that first year where almost out of work, and I'd wait like till I was almost out of work, and then I would be like, oh, I should pray about this. So I'd pray about it. And I think God was really trying to teach me a lesson, because I'd pray, and then within 24 hours, the phone would ring, and I'd have like weeks or months of work, or like a month of work again.
Wow.
And then I'd like burn through that. And then, oh shoot, I better pray again. And then I pray, work comes in. And so that was a pattern of that first year. So that was really huge for me. But yeah, where were we then? Oh, Jeff Shalla.
You guys were passing work on to each other.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And Jeff was actually one of those guys too. Like, he sent me a bunch of spring cleanup stuff, which saved my life there in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we had a good relationship, and we would meet for coffee a couple times a year, chat, how are things going. We talked about if we'd ever want to work together in a more official way.
Okay.
and just kind of kept playing that out. And so, yeah, I guess I'm trying to think. So we actually just, well, and you know this too, Shalla, Jeff and I just merged our companies.
Right.
And so we bought him out. He's still owner or part owner of now what's going to be Urban Yard.
Okay.
But yeah, so now we kind of went full circle. Now we're back to grass cutting and landscaping.
Yeah.
But I think it works now. Like Jeff's going to run the grass side. I'll run the landscaping side still. And actually Owen is taking on more and more of that role as project manager.
For the grass stuff?
Owen does all the landscaping stuff.
Okay.
So I'm basically sales and estimating.
Okay.
And then Owen is doing, like, once I have a job that's sold, I kind of send that over to Owen. Mm-hmm. I introduce him to the client, and then he takes care of scheduling, ordering property locates, materials, making sure the lead times line up with our schedule, and does all that. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some things that maybe you experienced while trying to do both that now you maybe, like, those problems have been solved now, or like you're thinking ahead to how you're going to solve them with now having landscaping and grass cutting? Because, like, it didn't work before.
Right.
Now, how is it going to work now?
Yeah, good question. So what we were doing before is we didn't have quite enough work for a full landscaping crew, and we didn't have quite enough work for the grass cutting. And so the guys were going back and forth between grass cutting and landscaping. And I found that was tricky for training, for one thing. But then you'd have a key guy that, is on the mower for you, making sure the jobs are done well. He's also got to know some stuff about mechanics. Like, he's got to make sure, like, okay, what's going on with the mower? Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes this guy that I'm counting on to run the mower, now he wants to switch over to landscaping and isn't loving his job anymore. He's like, I just want to do hardscapes.
Yeah.
Which is, fair of him if he prefers one type of work over the other.
Right.
But switching guys back and forth, I think, was tricky and created some problems for us. And there's also something to be said, like, when you're running two different types of businesses and they're both pretty small, there's inefficiencies. And so now that we've grown our landscaping side, we're running 3 crews now, and Jeff, I think, is running 5 mowing crews.
Okay.
You get these 2 businesses now that are running efficiently, and it's going to just work really slick. Jeff is going to manage full-time the grass, which was a big thing for us. Like, we weren't going to take him on because we didn't have the personnel to run that side, because we want to keep doing it well. And then so Jeff wasn't going to stick around. Initially, kind of, we were trying to feel this out, and then now he decided he was going to stick around and run that for us. So yeah, so I think those would be a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just having them separate and not overlapping, like, with personnel.
Yeah.
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 So
what has been, like, so we talk about, like, relationship with money, and like, as a business owner, you're constantly trying to grow and trying to expand, but then also not trying to be greedy and having, like, money being your, like, front of mind goal.
Yeah.
Like, and as a Christian, we are not supposed to be greedy or, like, trying to build, I guess, earthly
kingdoms.
Yeah. So how is that relationship as a business owner?
Yeah, well, I mean, business success is often measured by money, right? Like, if the business is losing money, that's an easy metric, right? If it's making money, then obviously doing well. So money is a metric, and when you're running a business, Owen actually said this when we were just starting. He said, like, our business has to run as, like, a people first mindset, not a money first mindset. And that plays into, like, how we treat our customers, and also how we treat our staff. And then we believe, like, if we do those things well, financial success will come out of that.
Yeah.
So that's one way, like, we try to make sure our priorities are right. Like, as soon as we start chasing the dollar, it's going to get weird, you know?
Yeah.
People are going to feel that, I think.
Yeah.
So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is we all have different gifts and talents, right? So you wouldn't catch me doing what you're doing right now,
Yeah.
and yet you're amazing at it. And I think you should do that. And for me, I've got different gifts and talents, and if one of those things is making money through business or investing or whatever it might be, then I've got to do that.
Yeah.
Like to the best of my ability, not for myself, but ultimately to help others, to grow the kingdom, be generous.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And one test that I have for myself, because because I've been in ministry, it's always a little bit on the back of my mind, you know, like I want to keep that ministry heart.
Yeah.
And also like just not pursue building wealth. And that's like, I asked myself, like, okay, would I be able to give this up? Well, like, if the Lord asked me to, would I be willing to give away my business and go back into ministry, which is like typically thought of as like, you're not going to make a ton of money, right?
Right. Yeah.
Would I be willing to, like, if the Lord's asked and it was clear, what's your answer? And so that's a test for me. Like if that answer in my mind ever becomes no, I wouldn't be able to, I think that's going to be a bit of dangerous ground there, you know?
Yeah. It's like, can I sell my house and my rental property to do ministry? Like it was yes before, it still should be yes now.
It still should be yes. Now, he may not ever ask me to do that, but I think it's good in life to always just check your heart in that process, because we can make anything an idol, right? Business can become an idol, money, friendships, our kids. I think our kids can be a huge idol. And that's another thing. Like I'm weird like that. Like I used to, when my kids were really young, I'd go into their rooms at night while they're sleeping and like look at them sleep. And it's so cute, right? And then I'd ask like, okay, Landon, like if something happened to them, like if you came down to check on them and they had been, you found their window open and they'd run away or somebody had taken them,
right?
Like what would you think about God in that moment? Like, how would you respond? Like, would you be, obviously there'd be anger and sadness and all of these things, but would I blame God in that moment? Because then I think like, that's also like, in my opinion, dangerous ground. Like when we read about Job, like he never accused God of wrongdoing. Yeah. Right. So that's, I think there's like, when you talked about money, and making sure it doesn't become an idol and so these are things that I try to do in my life. Like anytime I feel like something's becoming very important to me, I ask myself that question. Yeah. And actually, so Rhea was bitten by a deer tick. Okay. Like when she was young, she was like 3 or 4. We went out fishing for the day, had like a camp, like built a fire and had our shore lunch. And she would have picked up a deer tick, and we found it later in the day. It like attached already. And so I was like, I found myself like scared for one thing. Like this is like your little girl. Yeah. And now like if she gets Lyme disease, what's that all going to mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And those little suckers, they can.
Oh, they can mess you up. So I felt, at first I felt scared. And then I realized later in that day, I was starting to like accuse God, like, God, how could you let this happen? Like this tick had to bite her. And very quickly there was a check. Like I felt the Lord speak to me and say, Landon, who loves her more than you? Right. You know? And I was like, oh, like that was like the dad, like coming in and be like, whoa, check yourself, son. Yeah. So there's been lots of moments like that. And so, you just try to live with open hands as much as you can. And I'm very human. So like, you'd share these stories and it makes you sound like, oh wow, that's amazing. I would never do that. But like, it's still a constant wrestle inside, this is just something I try to do to keep that wrestle in check. Yeah. So,
yeah, I love Job. And I just love how honest he is, but yet he spilled out his heart, but at the same time, he didn't, dishonor God. He was very honest of like, why is this happening to me? He showed his frustrations. He let his emotions out, but he didn't sin in any of that. And he's brutally honest.
Oh yeah.
And I think like so often when I'm praying, I'm scared that I'll maybe like offend God if I actually share with him how I'm feeling. But like really he knows already.
He knows.
Yeah. And sometimes we just need to be that honest.
Yeah.
And we just need to
And David does that too, right? Like over and over, he's like, I want to crush the skulls of my enemy. Yeah. So it's cool. And you know what? As a parent now, and our world that we live in is so different from the world our grandparents would have grown up in. We live in a very, I feel like, controlled environment. Like, oh, we're sick, we go to the doctor, we get medicine, they're better, right? And not all the case. Like I know there's lots of caveats, but like generally, like we have kids and we expect those kids to live a full life. And it wouldn't have been that long ago in our area where like people would have lots of kids because they knew some of those kids were going to die before they were 5.
Right.
Yeah. And so I try to keep that in my mind too. Like we have a really good life, and we're very fortunate that we don't have to like expect like tons of hardship in that way. Because our grandparents would have expected that. And it just like helps me keep my expectations right, because I find like if I start getting unhappy in life, it's generally because I have the wrong expectations. And then once you adjust your expectations, not that you should always lower them, but they should be like realistic.
Yeah. Everything comes from God. And so if we're not getting something that we don't want, like it's because God's not giving it to us. Right. And we can't get frustrated with that.
Yeah.
I'm reading right now in Romans and just reading Life of Paul. And it's crazy. Like I never thought about it this way, but even like watching the Chosen, like they're homeless. Like Paul is just walking around from city to city. Like he's literally just a backpacker. He has a backpacker of stuff and he walks from town to town and he finds a place to sleep. Yeah. Like he never had I'm sure at some point he had a house when he was a Pharisee, but now he's just bumming off of people. Yeah. And like just having that, like, oh my goodness, I could never do that. Yeah. Like just having a backpack of stuff, and now I'm just gonna walk to Winnipeg. And I'm just gonna like
hopefully somebody lets me in.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna walk to Brandon, and it's like, like that perspective change, and that really just hit me. And I was really,
it's like
kind
of permanent camping.
Yeah. he literally just camped his entire life. Yeah.
I love camping, but I don't think I love it that much.
Yeah, that's why you build a log cabin in the middle of the wilderness. Yeah. That's crazy that you did that. Yeah. How long did that take you?
It's hard to know. Like, well, we worked on it for 4 winters, kind of on and off. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Good for you.
So,
there's a term. Have you heard of it? It's called dad lore.
No.
Okay, so lore is just like the history of something, and then like dad lore is just you want to have good dad lore for your kids. So you can tell them stories of you growing up, and you can be a cool dad.
Yeah. Do these stories have to be real?
Well, yeah. Hopefully,
at least partially real.
Maybe a little bit exaggerated.
Exaggerated. Yeah. You don't want to let the details ruin a good story. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I remember you did a lot of summers up at camp, right?
Yeah.
And I remember you threw it was like a backflip off of a bike, off of a ramp into the lake.
Yeah, we set up that big kicker off the dock. And actually, I think it was Evan Weentz. He was killing backflips off there. And then I wasn't going to go because I'm like, these are young guys. And I'm, at that time, I was like 28. I should probably like act my age. I don't know. But so then I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. So I hit this jump and I didn't do a backflip, but I did like this huge dive.
Right. Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was like, it was such a good feeling. Like the docks were floating docks and there was so many people on the dock that it was like, felt like it was almost sinking.
Yeah.
And on the pontoon boat. And then like you're ripping down this and like there's people on both sides of the dock yelling.
Yeah.
It felt really cool.
Yeah. I don't remember this, but someone told me that I tried it and then I wiped out before I hit the ramp. I don't know if you were there that.
Yes, because it got slippery. The wood got slippery and wet. I didn't know that was you, but yeah, the bike slid out because it was like not the right size bike for anybody.
Yeah.
And slid out. And then I think you slid like on your life jacket. So
Yeah.
you were barely scratched.
Yeah. Like I have no memory of this at all, like zero memory. But all I know is that someone told me that this happened to me.
Okay.
And I have maybe just like a vague memory of this happening. Maybe it's just my mind imagining it when someone told me that this happened to me. But yeah, slipped out, probably hit my head. That's why I don't remember it at all.
It's fine.
But yeah, that was a fun.
That was fun.
It was a fun night. Yeah, but I mean, like that must have been fun. Like that part of
working at camp.
Yeah,
yeah. It was great. It was like a very different type of work because like you're around. Oh, you know this. You work at camp. You're around people 24/7 basically. And now trying to raise a family, we had 3 young kids. I think when we started, Rhea was 3, Seth was 2, Haley was 1, and then we moved up there. And like for Jody, it was tough, like because quite isolated. Like I was busy working, but she was just in the cabin with the kids, nap times, and then also stressed about like. Well, they made good friends with the staff, right? Or the staff kind of took our kids under their wing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, where are our kids? And the staff had taken them like somewhere, which is great. So we had to have this like talk, like, hey guys, you got to at least let us know that you're taking them, or we're like, they're drowning.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair
right?
enough. The river's right there.
That's the first thought is like, they're drowning. So there was a number of times actually, I'm like, where are the kids? Jody's like, I thought they were with you. And then I'm like, oh no. So we had a bit of a plan. Like the first place we'd run was down to the boat dock.
Cause that plan, because it would happen.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You gotta have a plan.
Yeah.
And so we run down to the boat dock, and like in my mind, I'm almost visualizing seeing my kid floating on the water.
Word.
You know? Yeah. And then you get there, you look around, and you're like, okay, I don't see them. This is good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean, they'd always turn up somewhere, but yeah,
that's terrifying, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's
but
not fun.
You know, and it's something like you can worry about it. I hate worry, and I find that the best thing to help combat worry is just making a plan.
Are you a big planner?
I guess it depends on what aspect, but like,
okay, like family vacations. Do you have like an itinerary of what we're doing every day?
Oh heck no! Like we're going to Belize in February for 3 weeks, and like we have some stuff penciled in, but there's a week like we don't even have an Airbnb booked.
Oh, nice.
We'll just like try to figure it out when we're down there.
Yeah.
But no, we're not that kind of planner. But like, I found even with work, if I'm stressed about something. And I'm like pushing it off, right? We all do that. Like there's something that's like cooking in the background that's stressing us out.
Yeah.
And we want to push it off so that we don't think about it, and in hopes that we reduce stress. I found that I have to let myself go there and actually think about what's causing me stress and why, and then come up with a solution, like whatever that might end up being. So there was a job I priced, biggest job I'd ever priced. I think it was like it was 170,000, and yeah, it was scary. Like
that's huge.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if I got it wrong, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And so I was just stressed, and I know I spent so much time pricing it. Like you're like, I did my best. Like I don't think I missed anything, but your mind just like keeps going, right? So I pushed it off for a long time, and then finally I dove back into the plans and kind of like repriced it. Because then I could kind of put those worries to rest, because otherwise I couldn't turn my brain off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, no, I think there's so many areas in life where we try to shove things down, or we just like, try to shove the monsters in the closet, and then at some point
you just hear
gotta,
them knocking.
Yeah,
right?
at some point you just got to open up the closet and say, okay, it's time to deal with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm someone that like when I'm overwhelmed, I'm just like paralyzed. I just want to hide in my room.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to open the door and say, okay, it's time to actually.
It's time to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a place like, I mean, some of the stuff people deal with is so heavy. Like you have to, like you can't deal with it all the time. Like I don't know if we're like built for that to like constantly be like hashing out these big issues. So there's a place to like, you know, push stuff off, you know, distract yourself, but long term, like you're not gonna, it's not like it's just going to go away on its own.
No, it's going to keep on overflowing until they just pile out of the closet. And now your life is in ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. Are you, would you struggle with like micromanaging, like when you're leading, or like, is that something that you would, find yourself going into?
I don't know. You work for me. What would you say?
I mean, like, I think you're pretty chill. Yeah. I think, like there's a lot of times where like stuff gets recommunicated multiple times because they have to be. Like if something gets communicated multiple times, it's probably because it's pretty important and it should be communicated multiple times. But yeah, like you're not someone to just take over. Yeah.
I would say I don't take over. Like I try to let the guys do the job. So we have a lot of young guys working for us. And so with that, that's great. With that, there's things that, you know, if you're a bit older, you've worked other places, there's things that are kind of automatic that get built into you over time that you're not going to miss or that you're going to think of. You know, things like what to talk to a customer about on a job site and what you don't need to. Like there's like these little nuanced conversations that as you get
to walk them through everything.
Yeah, they're older. They've done this. They've hired trades themselves, and so they know what's annoying when a trade does this or that, and they know what they like about a trade. So yeah, there is an aspect where I communicate a lot of that, and I do wonder if I over communicate. But the other side of that is communication is so important, like whether it's marriage, work, whatever. So something I tell my guys is, you know, if I ask, hey, Owen, can you send this email to so-and-so? He's like, yeah, I'll do it. Well, I know for myself how easy it is to forget that. Forget to do it. You know, you're in the middle of something. And so, but it's still burning on my head because I told the person that we would email him.
Right. So it's still kind of your responsibility.
Still my responsibility. So then I will check in with Owen maybe end of the day. Hey, did you email that guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay, good.
Perfect.
We're done. Now, if Owen gets tired of me checking in with him, he can get proactive. And once he's emailed, he could say, just letting you know, I sent the email.
Right.
Good. Done.
Ideal perfect world scenario.
Yeah. Perfect world. Right. Yeah. Now, as Owen and I build trust, you know, all this stuff or with any of my other staff, you're just going to know he's going to send that email.
Yeah.
So there'll be less and less of that, but everybody's still pretty young. Owen just took on this role this year. So he's still kind of learning, you know, what systems to put in place and so things don't get dropped. And he does a great job. But yeah, it does seem like I over communicate a lot of things.
Yeah, but I mean that's
but at the same time, if we don't, it can get very expensive, right?
Yeah.
Like the big thing we talk about, and you've probably heard us say is like we don't assume. We do our best to not assume anything.
Yeah.
Because when you assume, then that's exactly when
you lose money.
Yeah. And I mean, we make one wrong assumption, it could cost me $5,000. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if some of the staff, you know, if they felt that, you know, if Landon did one thing wrong, you know, this staff member loses $5,000.
Yeah.
They would probably communicate, make sure certain things are handled. At least that's what I tell myself. But yeah, no, I try to give them space on the job site. The supervisors are great. I try not to get involved with how they manage the guys. Give them little pointers sometimes if, you know, so there's always a little bit of friction at times. And then I'll help them give them ideas on what to do. But
yeah. I want to go back to, just like Heart of Obedience and like ministry, like all that stuff. What are some things that you've learned from going through these different transitions of, okay, now going to SOM, or like was once going to be a pilot, now SOM, now church, now Urban Yard? Like, what's something that you've learned from those transitions?
Good question. Well, there's a couple of things come to mind, and I would say, like, don't stress about what's my future going to be. Like, chances are it's going to change, right? So one aspect is like, just do what you know to do in the moment. And I think it is good to have like sort of a bit of a plan, but hold that loosely. So that'd be one dynamic. Like if we're talking about like kids just getting out of high school, don't stress. Like it doesn't help nothing. And, just keep doing the next right thing.
Yeah.
And then the other side of it is whatever you're doing, whatever, like these different stages I was in, whether it was working for my dad, working at camp, SOM, ministry, now running a business, just do your best. Learn as much as you can. Like every area you have different things that you're going to learn from or that you have the opportunity to learn. Just learn because it's going to prepare you for whatever is next on the list. So yeah. So I think God is just constantly working at preparing us, like, and working on our character and our practical skill sets as well. So yeah, I think that's what would come to mind.
Yeah.
With each different season.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I'm someone that, I don't know how to say this, like with humility, but like, I think I have a decent amount of talents or giftings that God has given me. And I want to do my best to multiply and steward those things. Yeah. And often I think I have so many dreams and I have so many things that I want to do that I often can get so caught up in just bouncing around. And I need just like, I wish that God would just tell me like, what is my next step? Like, give me the 5-year plan and then I'll be good. And
then I'll do it.
Yeah. But I mean, so often he just gives me what to do tomorrow. And that can be so frustrating for me because I want the 5-year plan, but God doesn't always give me that.
Well, and it's good. Like for you, like, I think I would encourage you, my kids as well, like try all sorts of things. Just go for it. Like my son now, he'd like to be a hockey player.
Nice.
So I like, hey, well, Seth, like, if you like, you should go for it. Yeah. You should do it. But here are some things that you should expect along the way. Like, instead of watching Dude Perfect, like if you really want to be in the NHL, you should be on the rink practicing.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think it's so good. Like whatever, you just go for it because you'll you do this, you do this podcast thing and maybe it takes off and you're like, boom, let's do this. Maybe you do it for a while and you're like, I don't know if this is quite what I'm into or who knows. Right. And then there'll be something else. And just try a bunch of different things. And it kind of seems to sort itself out.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also an aspect of just doing something for a certain amount of time and like committing to, okay, I'm going to do like 20 episodes and then see what happens after that. Because like you do also need the time to get good at something. Like it's not going to just take off skyrocket after like 2 episodes. Yeah. Sometimes like, I mean, I think in a lot of cases you have to put in the reps to actually get good at something for it to take off. And I think,
that is so true. Somebody told me once, like we see these guys who are like overnight successes, right? And somebody said most overnight successes are 10 years in the making.
Right.
They're working in the background. Yeah. Putting in the work, learning skills, building connections. And then all of a sudden there's like a hit song or whatever it might be. Right. Yeah. And,
video blows up on YouTube blows up, and he has like 10 years of videos that you haven't seen.
You've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of truth to that is like, you do have to commit to a certain amount of time to often see that success and get that snowball rolling. But
yeah. How do you think, and we touched on this a little bit, but working at church, volunteers, and I guess the leadership role is so much or way more different than now being an employer. But I think, I just want to say, like, I think you've done a really good job, or like you're a fantastic employer because you have this church experience where you know to sell the people on the vision and you know to treat them well, like even like Friday breakfasts or lake day. Like if you understand that if you treat your employees well, they'll want to work for you and they'll be willing to put in the extra hours or whatever. And money isn't just the reason they're showing up.
Yeah.
And I think I like talk to someone like Danny, he'll say over and over and over again, like he loves working at Urban Yard because of the community and because of the, I mean, I don't know if he's told you that. But
he's said it. Yeah. There's a few things he said, but it's always interesting to hear that. So
yeah. No, I think like multiple times this summer, he told me like the reason he loves working at Urban Yard is because of the people and because of like, stuff like Friday breakfasts or whatever that just builds community. Like what's kind of your heart behind that, behind Friday breakfasts, and what's your I guess why are you so intentional with that?
Oh man, you got all the good questions today. Yeah, I'm gonna just like shoot from the hip, come up with why am I intentional with that? Well, okay, so I would say when I worked for my dad, I was an employee of my dad's, but it was still a family business. So I felt ownership to a certain level. And when you feel ownership over something, you're willing to do things that I think an employee is not necessarily willing to do or as pumped about, right? Yeah, because you're the owner, so it's like, and an employee is it's just a different mindset. And I didn't understand that mindset until I worked at church, because even though it was a ministry position and I felt like it was a calling, God wanted me there, on a very basic level, I was an employee of the church. And so how I was led really mattered. And things like, was I valued? Did they appreciate me? Did I do meaningful work? I actually, for the first time, I wanted to feel that from a boss, because even though I'm working for the Lord, you're my boss, you know? And I wanted clarity on like, what's my box that I can operate within without feeling like I have to check with you. Because it for a season there at church, it was very frustrating because I didn't know my box. I didn't know when I had done a good job. And it's something very rewarding when you know I've done something and that was a good job. Yeah. Right.
There's like a easy metric.
It's an easy metric.
If I hit this goal,
my boss is happy. I'm happy. Everybody's good, you know? And so I learned a few things about what it felt like to be an employee working at church, which helped me try to implement these things, because as a business, you're competing with every other business out there for good staff. And so even though money is an aspect, we got to pay guys fairly. There's so much we can offer an employee more over money, right? Yeah. And so those things that I learned at church is probably what motivated me to implement some of these things. That, and I actually saw my dad model this pretty well too. He always took us out for breakfast on Fridays.
Okay.
So that's probably where I got some of the idea from. It just kind of seemed normal. But I don't think it is normal from what I hear. Yeah. So yeah, because we spend so much time together at work. Like, I spend more time with Owen than my wife, you know?
For sure.
So you've got, like, if work can be a place you enjoy going to every day, I think it helps keep staff. So there's a benefit to the company. But we also, like, a goal of Urban Yards is that we want to train our guys really well, put them in a good environment, teach them how to work. Like, often, like, these guys are coming, they're young guys coming, right? And we understand that a lot of people aren't going to be with us for their whole career. Right. Like, probably very few.
Especially with seasonal jobs like that, you have a lot of turnover.
Yeah. And so our goal is that anybody who works for us, when they go to their next job, like, I want to have put them on a platform to succeed there.
Nice.
For their next boss, but also just that's one way we can add value to our employees, right? So, yeah.
What's your plan now with Shala on like Friday breakfast or
Yeah,
whatever?
I don't know because there's certain practical issues that start playing in here when we had, I think, 9 guys on the landscaping side last year, and now we're adding another 12. And like, it's just tough to go to a restaurant with 21 people.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. It's actually on our list to discuss. I'm going to do that, but
yeah, maybe like maybe it has to be less regular, but like an evening barbecue or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Because the nice thing about our crew at 9, even, it was getting pretty big. Like we all sit at the same table, which kind of brings a bit of that unity. Because all the guys are talking, right? Like, and it's a lot of fun sharing stories. And now you've got 21 people. Like, you're guaranteed going to be at 2 tables.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And you start like dividing the crew a little bit, and then, which is probably fine, but it's just an interesting dynamic now that we're gonna have to navigate.
Yeah.
So,
and you want the two crews to know each other, and
we want them to know each other. We don't want to be like silos where like landscaping crew is always annoyed with the grass crew because the trailers are in the way, or we don't want to create that animosity between the crews, and yet they're still going to run very separate. And so it'll be interesting how we do that. Last year, actually, we had kind of announced to all the staff of Shala and Urban Yard that we were going to be joining forces. And so we did a barbecue. Were you at the barbecue?
I was not.
This was actually after you had gone to school.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was in fall. So we had a big barbecue in the shop, which I think was really good for all the guys to get together and hang out. So
yeah. No, that would have been fun to be there. But that's sweet though. I think like doing something like that, even if it's like twice a summer or something. Yeah. I think that can build a lot of community and excitement too. Yeah. Especially like if you don't even know all the people that you work with, like that would be tough. Yeah. You just see the guys at the shop in the morning or after work, and that's all you see them. Yeah. Like that'd be tough. Yeah. I think working for a small company where you know everyone, where you can have those relationships, like there's obviously pros to the relationship side.
There is, yeah. A lot of people are lonely, I find. Like when I talk to people, there's like a lonely aspect to their life, which I mean, if work can solve that problem for people in a way, that's pretty cool. Yeah. If you have that community and being with the guys.
Yeah. I mean, I found there was a huge adjustment to having to, like working with people all day, all summer. And then now I'm just in my basement studying all day. Like that was a brutal adjustment. And I feel that too. Like sometimes I'll just go to coffee culture or something just to like sit by myself, just to be around people. Yeah. Cause I need that. And, like I'll wake up, I'll study, and then my parents will come home and it's like 4:30. It's the first time I've talked to someone all day. It's like my voice, like forgot how to speak. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but no, that's
well, and it's really like true. When you were working with us this summer, like there would be guys that would come up to me and be like, "Oh man, I had just such a great conversation with Miles today." And so when you have people on the crew that are good conversationalists and like can add a lot of like meaning and purpose to people's life, that's very cool. Yeah. So
no, I kind of try to intentionally have conversations with people, because like if all we're doing is raking dirt or shoveling rocks, like you can talk while doing that, as long as it's not distracting, but you can really get to know someone, and I think conversations while you're doing something like that just naturally flows, and you can really make an impact in someone's life if you just want to get to know them and just want to hang out with them. Yeah, unless it's too hot, then it's
those hot days. There's always like a couple weeks in summer where it's like scorching hot. Yeah. Like then the rest of the summer, it's like, okay, this is still hot, but not like hot.
Yeah. Well, even like August was so chill when it came to weather. Like the worst days were like June, maybe some of July. But
I think July there's always some scorchers.
Yeah. Me and Kelsey and Danny were at Prairie Oaks, and that was brutal.
And then it's all like black dirt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's no shade
So
at all.
hot.
Yeah.
And then when you're working those topsoil jobs and then it's a windy day, did you have any of those this summer?
For sure.
And you're just like,
Come home black.
You're
It's like
black
I'm, like
and-
unintentionally doing blackface.
you feel like somebody is you feel like somebody is throwing dirt at you all day long.
Yeah.
Like it just like grates.
and
on
your
you.
eyes, man,
Yeah.
you're just, I found doing sod when it's windy the worst.
Yeah, that's bad too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the soil is dry and the sod is dry and everything is just like just a tornado
Yeah.
of.
Oh man. But it's those days. Like I remember some days when I was working for my dad too. You're 18. You feel like you're doing the worst job on earth at that moment. And you know what? You do it and it's a terrible day. But looking back, like it kind of shapes you a little bit.
It does.
It like it makes you tougher. You know, when I raise my kids now, I'm like, you have like that dad, like where you're like, dude, that's not hard work. Yeah.
Yeah. No, like not having a lot of trades experience.
Yeah.
Like going into this past summer, I was like, there's a lot of like manliness that I felt.
Oh, yeah?
It was like, I'm a man now. I'm a blue collar boy.
Yeah.
But no, it's true. Like you earn your stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, it seems like
It's a good feeling too.
it is good. Like working hard all day. Like for me, I feel like I accomplished something. Like now I'm in the office, which I mean, when it's plus 30, I'm happy to be in the office, but I miss an aspect of like being able to see what you did that day. Also, like you said, you have good chats with the boys on the site and there's that, camaraderie.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So then you have that with each other and like, you're like, I don't know. I miss that aspect of it, but, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the trades. Like I missed it when I was at church.
Okay.
And I don't know what all plays into why I missed it. But it's definitely like a vibe.
Yeah. No, it's true. You have the radio going and you're all singing to something or yeah. No, and especially when you have like lots of people on a site. I mean, sometimes it gets inefficient if there's too many people, but if there's like enough people where you can all like just vibe together.
Yeah.
Like that's a good day.
And with trades, it's interesting. I don't know do you feel this on our crew? Like a pecking order? Like I've been on some trades where like it's very clear, like you know where you stand in the list of list of guys. Like if you're sitting shotgun and then so and so is like gonna join you in the truck, like that guy's in the back.
Okay, not really.
No.
Yeah, I just felt like you have your crew leaders.
Yeah.
And obviously they're number one, but like past that, I guess like some guys are more prone to giving tips or like, hey, you should try this, you should try that.
Yeah.
Or they'll know what's happening. Like, especially at the start of the season, I knew nothing, so I knew where I was. But when it came to like sitting in the truck, I know like Joseph was always like, no, you take shotgun. You, like he wanted to sit in the back.
Yeah.
Which was
He
funny
is such a nice guy.
Yeah. He's very humble. But yeah, no. Yeah. For some reason, Zach always took shotgun.
The youngest guy.
Well, yeah, but we would always just like give it to him. It's like, no, you take it, because I don't want to worry about having to have conversations in shotgun. I just want to like sleep in the back and not feel like I'm like, dissing
because the driver's got to be awake. Like if you're starting early,
if you're in shotgun, you have to keep the conversation going.
Keep the driver awake.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
But if in the back, you can just sleep the whole time. So maybe that's why Joseph wanted the back, so he could just pass out. But no, those days when you're driving home and there's no AC in the truck and you're...
Oh, that was a rough couple weeks there.
Yeah.
When the AC was out.
Yeah. But no. Well, I got no more questions, man.
Cool. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on. And, it's been a pleasure. You're an easy person to talk to.
Oh, am I? Okay. Yeah. Well...
Share
I
lots of your
appreciate that,
stories.
because I was a little nervous coming.
Oh yeah,
well, yeah. But no, this was very chill. So if you want to get somebody else on and they need to like talk to somebody to see how it was, you can let them know to call me.
Yeah, for sure. No, the goal is to start without them knowing that we've started.
Oh,
like to just like go into
roll
it.
into it. So
It's not
were you recording already?
When you went to the bathroom, I hit record.
Okay.
And then we just sat down and started talking.
Sneaky,
But
real
yeah,
sly.
yeah. Well, I don't like if you say, okay, 3, 2, 1, action.
It's like,
Yeah, like
Freeze
tell
up.
me your name. Like that's too professional.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want it to be open and
yeah.
vulnerable and just start talking.
Yeah. Well, this was great. And I mean, hopefully, if, if people listen to it, hopefully it helps them. Like that's why I wanted I have this rule for myself that if somebody asks me to do something and it's kind of an opportunity like this where I'm a bit nervous, I can't say no to things because I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like I just have to say yes and then figure it out.
Yeah.
And so that was one dynamic of why I wanted to do this. But the other side of it is like, hopefully it adds value to somebody. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why you're doing this too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And if I can like monetize that, I think like that would be a sweet thing to be able to like monetize stories and education and knowledge. Like that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not using you, but
I don't care if you were using me. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think people have stories, man, and stories need to be shared. And I think people don't even realize they have stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be cool. I love stories from older generations. So my grandma, I think she's in her 90s. And so,
oh, wow, good for her.
So Rhea turned 13 and we want to do this like rite of passage thing. As she now like transitions to adulthood. Right.
Right.
And
now she's a teenager.
Now she's a teenager. Yeah. That's a whole nother podcast. But so we called my grandma. She lives in Regina, and we chatted with her. And I wanted my daughter to talk to her and like ask her questions about, how things were when she was a girl, and how was school, and as a teenager, like what challenges did she face? And now, as a 90-something-year-old, looking back over that almost century of time, you see things differently. And so we asked her, like, what advice, like this is my daughter talking. She's like, what advice would you give me looking back now, and hearing her perspective was totally different than, if me and you were going to have that conversation. And yet I think for my grandma, like she would never sit down and have a talk like this. So,
right. For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, like getting an older generation on, it adds a whole other perspective.
Yeah. I'd love to have someone older, even like Len Neufeld, like that'd be sweet.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Although he would have to buy into it. I think I'd have to sell him on it.
Yeah.
No, whenever I've done like mission stuff and I am doing fundraising, then I always email him and we always go out and basically I have to sell him on it. Not because like he's always willing, but he wants to know like what his time and his money is going to. Yeah. And I think even just it helps me sort through, okay, why am I doing this? Like when someone sits down and asks you, hey, why should I give you money so that you can go to Turkey or wherever? Like it helps me sort through that. Yeah. But yeah, having someone on it like him.
And when you talk to like a guy like Len, well, as you know, in some of these guys' positions, I shouldn't speak for Len specifically, but I've felt this even as a business owner. Like you have a Google My Business page, and like people start calling you asking for money.
Right.
Yeah.
Going to the Steinbeck Converse.
So all of a sudden there's like a competition, or like people are competing for your time. They're competing for your money. And so, yeah, I think that it is an interesting dynamic. Like now, okay, what am I going to give time to? Because I can't do it for everybody. Yeah. What am I going to give money to? Because I can't do for everybody.
Yeah. You have to really believe in that person, what they're doing. Yeah. And so even like for you to come on here, like, or anyone who wants to come on here and talk, like that shows some sort of belief in this platform and that there is potential. Yeah. But yeah.
And what I found with the business guys in town, because I ask them for advice all the time, go for coffee. People are typically very willing to go out because it feels good to be asked for advice. Yeah. Right. And these guys have all been in our shoes. And I think as you get older, you're like, man, if I could help somebody younger not make the same mistakes I did. I found people are usually pretty receptive to getting bought coffee.
Yeah. And people love, like, not that this is like a bad thing, but people like talking about their life and their stories.
Yeah.
And maybe like we can play on that a little bit. I remember I was younger and I was silly, but I was like trying to like Google dating like tips and like how to get girls to like you. And, we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And one of them was like, ask them just a bunch of questions and get them to talk about themselves. Because if they go home happy about their own life, then they'll probably like you more.
Exactly.
So like, I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of questions and then hopefully that turns into something. But yeah. Getting someone to share about their life, I think everyone enjoys or is maybe flattered by that. Yeah. But no, I think there's potential, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hope you keep doing it.
No, thank you.
Keep doing it. Get to that 20 podcast mark.
Yeah. If you would have someone that you'd recommend me to reach out to, like, who do you think would be a good fit? Or maybe you don't have someone.
I don't think I'll mention names right now.
For sure.
Because I don't put pressure on them. But after we'll chat. But I would say for you, like, never be intimidated. Like, just ask for like everybody. Like, you know, somebody who you're like, oh, I'd love to get him on my podcast, but I'm a little nervous. Just ask.
Yeah.
Because what's the worst thing to say no? But like, just ask. Like, it's go for it.
Yeah. Well, even like I saw. Okay, so not to get too political, but like with elections and with interviewing politicians, like that's a huge platform for politicians to be able to share their, or even just to get to know them. I know like there's a huge movement when like Trump went on to Joe Rogan before the election. Like that just like spiked up his likability for a lot of people. Just because they could. I mean, that interview was like 4 hours long. To be able to have 4 hours uninterrupted listening to a politician, be able to get to know him. I think there's a lot of potential even in that. And then here, small scale. But I think to get to a point where this becomes a media outlet that people look to and can make their decisions off of when it comes to like, politician or whatever. If we talk about a political issue or any issue and people want to hop onto a podcast and listen to it, and then there's credibility and influence that happens through that. So
you should actually like living in Steinbach. So this is going to start off probably as a pretty local podcast. Getting like a city council member or the mayor, I think would be cool, because there's like issues in our community and it'd just be interesting, like not reading a news story, but like hearing the person talk about the issues. And just what are they doing? And like, that would be cool. Like I'd tune in for that for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Yeah. I know. Whatever. So I think that would be a good next step for me too. Yeah. Well, thanks again, man.
Thanks, Miles.
Yeah, of course.